Says, how hard are coaches on themselves?
Right. Well, I have no idea if y'all heard the sound. I sure as hell didn't. It is Monday night. You are here live on Fifth Quarter Sports Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Kevlar. Treat 'em swell. We are down a man tonight, so up in Mr. Skip's spot, we have Diamond Dirty D. Oh, hey, wrong way. And beside him, the fabulous Coach Abe. Fellas, what it is, what it ain't. What's up? What's down? What's new? What's old?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, not too much. I'm on vacation this week. Um, just waiting on this football season to kick off with
What up,
Coach
Stan?
A and things of that nature. So hey, we living, we learning, we doing what we need to do, and we're gonna talk about what we experienced this past week. We've been off for 2 weeks, so I did go out and see Coach A in practice. uh, had some of that footage, grimy footage for you, and see how they do their thing, and got to experience a youth park with more multiple teams and things that they have in place out there.
There we go, man.
Central
Hey,
DeKalb Jaguars, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Lambo, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Good to be on tonight with y'all good fellas. Like D said, we had a little break last week. It was good that him and Skip was able to come out um, and get a feel of, not just how we do things as a team, but as how Central DeKalb does things as a part. It was a good little atmosphere out there. Um, and yeah, man, I'm good and energized from the past week. We got some good work over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and I'm excited to talk about it.
there you go. There you go. Well, man, as you said, we were off last week. I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday. Hope you didn't have to go to work, but if you did, oh well, you made it through it. Hey, man, let me tell y'all, NASCAR might be one of the funnest damn things to go to. Watching it on TV, of course. Like my fiance hates it. She's like, we're just sitting here watching fucking traffic. But she went to the race with us yesterday. Had a fucking ball. She hated to admit it, but she looked at me and she goes, I'm having a great time. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. So, anyways, that was my weekend. Fellas, man, interesting story. D, what's that little smirk up there? You ain't never been to a race?
No, but from my understanding, I was told like like the football, baseball, the basketball games, when you try to sit front row, it costs more money. And NASCAR, from my understanding, sitting up high costs the most money. Now, with you telling us about your indulgements and things that you can bring into the facility, it's a totally other
Yeah.
story.
So, for
And
those who don't know, NASCAR rules, each person is allowed two 14 by 14 soft sided coolers. And for perspective, I can fit a 12 pack in a 12 by 10 cooler. So you can only imagine, the best part is when the race is over and you're watching everybody leave. It's like human fucking pinball getting out of there. Everybody's just drunk and stumbling, running into each other. It's awesome. It's one of the only sport that encourages folks to bring their own alcohol and food into the event.
alcoholic food beverage.
You can
So
bring not.
do they sell alcohol there as well, or they
Yes,
just?
they have.
Yes.
It's the regular thing, but you go to a Falcons game, you're walking in, and you see all the little tables with the alcohol, the little alcohol spots. Lines are all the way the fuck back here.
Yes,
Not
sir.
a single goddamn person in this line. They probably don't make any money off of alcohol.
Nah,
That's my next question for you. Yes.
Yeah, now the food probably, they'll probably make some good. The food, the concession stands are usually pretty packed, but nah, they ain't making shit off the alcohol. Oh fuck. Hey, there's an echo. But yeah, man, hey, some wild shit, right? That you just brought to my attention here, D. The Northwestern head coach, Pat Fitzgerald, has been fired because of hazing allegations within the program. The school announced that today, but a couple of weeks ago, it was last Friday, he was told that he'd be suspended without pay for a little while they did this little investigation. And now he's gone. So, D, go ahead and speak on that for a little bit, and then we'll bring that into some other things with it.
I mean, the understanding what I got out of it, it's a dark level of football that a lot of hazing goes on with. Usually it's the upperclassmen that are hazing the younger players and players coming in. But from my understanding, this has some sexual implications involved. And this is another story where we're hearing this type of stuff going on. And and if anybody don't know, you can say, well, why the coach getting fired is these players. The coach is the head of this corporation. It's just like running a business, CEO, vice president, president, whatever. And he's the face of this university as far as the football program. They're not winning anything. They haven't been relevant since Darnell Archery was the running back in the day when me and Abe was in high school. And this is what type of media presence that you get. And I'm just sitting here like, I don't understand, why does it always happen when it's a player who's left the program? So you were there dealing with this and you don't say anything, because you know what? These coaches have their hand in these kids' future as far as them trying to get to the next level. Like we've always said before, regardless of them getting drafted in the NFL, getting drafted in the first round or any round in the NFL, these coaches are their resume. They can make a phone call to somebody on any organization and be like, no, he's not the one, so forth. So a lot of these kids, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, whatever, put up with a lot of stuff, the disrespect, the physical abuse, mental abuse, and things that go on from players, coaches, and whatever, especially these kids come from out of state. They put up with a lot. That's why I'm kind of happy if the transfer portal is in place, because I think that's some of the stuff that goes on also too for these kids transferring, out and things of that nature. But it's a sad story. It's just like you always ask him with the NIL coming in. They've been paying players. They've been doing these type of things, slide money up under your pillow when you come in the dorm room, you got money and so forth. This is the other side of it also. Me and Abe, we dealt with it at one point in time when we were in high school, because we have a hill. Our high school sits on top of a hill. Our football field is down at the bottom, and we used to have to walk down that hill, walk back up after practice. You see what I'm saying? And if one of us messed up, cost the team or whatever the case may be back then, we're gonna see you on the hill. Now we walking up through some woods of a hill. You see what I'm saying? So it was things like that. So we know that it takes place. You probably, Kev, you're younger than me, Abe, so you probably dealt with some of it yourself also.
Hey, before I let you go, I just want to let everybody know. So, the cat who got hazed, or that came out with all this, he's staying anonymous. But apparently, they had a thing called running, where they basically tie them up, restrain them, and then it's not saying like what they did, but it's saying like 8 to 10 of the dudes would fucking perform a sexual act. So that just sounds gay to me. Hey, look, Pimp C said it best. If you want to be gay, man. Just don't try to hide it.
But that's anyway. Again, hey, go ahead, Nate.
I'm sorry, everyone. I had my head down because I was actually reading up on this. But yeah, man. So the ex player was actually Latino or Mexican, and he experienced racial and sexual hazing in the form of, as Kel mentioned, running, and also by him being one of, if not the only Latino player on the team. They shaved Cinco de Mayo in the back of his head, held him down and did it. They also had this thing where they called it a car wash, to where one said player would have to stand in the front of the showers, at the front entrance of the showers, naked, and some acts of touching and different genitals. It's
It's a
way
lot.
more.
It's a lot.
It's
It's a
way
lot.
more than hazing going on up there. I'm definitely glad it was brought to everyone's attention, and the coach was fired, because I do know that in these college campuses that they do, hazing does exist, but it's in most cases it's a kind of a healthy form of it. But this right here is just like totally far-fetched, like stuff I've never heard of, and it's to a program who's not really doing that good on the field. So for me, Pat Fitzgerald, you should have been more concentrating, should have done more concentrating on the product you put out there on the field, instead of first off, instead of allowing all this stuff to go on like this, which is like Kel said, it's beyond hazing. It's gay. It's not comfortable for any heterosexual man to be in any of these situations with other players. Like I said, I know it goes on, but to this extent, I've never heard of it. And if Pat Fitzgerald okayed this stuff and knew about this stuff, not only should he have been fired from Northwestern, he don't need to get a job nowhere. I don't think that he put his players' safety and just mental health, he didn't put that into consideration at all, because these are situations to where even after you leave the program, it's still gonna be on your mind. It's still gonna be like, hey, I had to do this or perform this, and it's definitely disappointing, especially with the only Latino player, and they doing the racial hazing. And I know that Northwestern is probably, especially the football team, probably predominantly white.
There's a bunch of white frat boys that ain't got.
It is. It is. And
No
I,
fucking sense.
like I said, I hope Pat Fitzgerald never gets a job in college football again, because it's just uncalled for and unacceptable to have that allowed under your watch and in your program.
Now, I understand. You make the new kid fucking.
Yeah.
You make him wash all the dirty laundry. You know what I mean? You fucking cover him in everybody throws their shit at him. But goddamn, you over here dunking your nuts in Buddy's mouth. That's fucking gay. But hey, let me ask you this, D. And because I could be off, but I want to get your opinion on it. Does this kind of bring up like a oh fuck, his name just left me. Jerry Sandusky.
It's kind of the culture.
Joe Paterno. Yeah, another situation of that.
Because again, though, these two teams, this team plays in the same division ever, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, and that Big Ten conference up there. So I'm just trying to figure out, because their coaching staffs kind of mirror each other. They probably know the same coach. They probably played for Northwestern. They got probably grad assistants and people trying to get involved that were on the team. So this is a widespread thing. This ain't nothing it just started yesterday. You see what I'm saying? This didn't just start yesterday. It didn't get uncovered yesterday. This has been an investigation going on and on and on. And like Abe touched on it, If both of you guys Google Warren Dixon was a basketball player for the University of Maryland. They won a national championship. Right before before you came on the show or whatever, there was a story out there. Warren Dixon is a head coach of, I'm gonna say probably a D2 college team. I can't think of it offhand, but this same type of situation jumped off. There was hazing, sexual stuff was involved. This kid uh, basically had to get a counselor to the point of where he thought he was going to commit suicide because of sexual stuff that was happening. The dude blackmailed him, and the dude ended up graduating and becoming a coach on Warren Dixon's staff. While this guy is still playing on the team. And you know what I'm saying? And basically what happened, it was a catfish type thing. He thought he was talking to a female, found out it wasn't a female. You see what I'm saying? And now they engaged in something. You know what I'm saying? Bam. Same thing here when you're talking about the Latino kid. Psychologically, that would mess him up for the rest of his life. When we play these types of sports, football, basketball, baseball, whatever type of sport that you're into, when you play these things, it's a brotherhood or a sisterhood. And when somebody takes their innocence away from you, because you're trusting them, hey, we got to go out there and explain, like Abe said, we got to go out here and play a game for 60 minutes. You just embarrassed me on Wednesday before we've been to play the game. You think I want to go out there and block for your ass? Hell no. You think I want to catch a pass for you? Hell no. I want to do anything. That's why when you see, damn, they that sorry, you find out there's something going on. It's something culturally going on. There's something coaching going on. You know, Skip always say coaching, but it'd be a lot of other stuff that's going on underneath the surface that we don't even see. At all.
Now, like you said, y'all are a little bit older than me. So speak on some, I don't know, I know y'all saw some hazing back in the day. Hell, I hate to admit now, but I was a part of the hazing, but that was just, we dumb kids, but we never did anything this extreme.
I will say this. Me and this gentleman here, we went to a middle school that we were all family before we got to high school. We went to Southwest Middle School, as Gene Child, y'all. We were all family. We didn't have any issues, just whatever. Now, when we went to the high school that we went to, we mixed in and integrated with other schools that we had been playing sports against, youth, middle school ball, or whatever. So we were still on that. We went to Southwest Middle School. You understand? Abe knows what I'm talking about. You come up there, hey, you went to school with me. I didn't know you for 3-4 years. I just met this joke. You know what I'm saying? So if they ain't coming in at 9th, I was in the 10th, nobody missed. We didn't have those problems because we stood together. Now we seen other stuff transpire. We seen certain things happen. I mean, for somebody getting peed on, I witnessed this. It is what it is. I witnessed it. I seen like we had them, stealing stuff from you. My helmet got stolen They stole all our helmets one year. The seniors did because they didn't get the trophies. Hell, we went 3-7. What trophy you want? You know what I'm saying? All this shit took place. We seen it. I got myself in a situation because I messed up in practice one time and they had to run and it was like, hey, they gonna beat my head. I saw the best I could before I went up the hill. Things happen. We know when our coaches got in trouble on that stuff. So, hey, it is what it is. But this didn't went so far now because social media is involved. They record and go viral. And it's a lot. If it's some of the stuff that happened between me and Abe, probably when Skip was whatever, it'd be a lot of people in jail right now. Because I'm talking about not on the sexual, that sexual assault, that's basically what it is. I'm talking about assault and battery, physical abuse. I done seen somebody get their ass whooped for dropping a pass or making somebody run and all that. I've seen all of that. And it takes a toll on the team. Because now, man, fuck this. I ain't playing for you. I ain't gonna block for you. I'm not gonna do anything. Why would I? In Abe's case, he'll know the seniors and the people we had, I love them boys, we cool, ain't got no problem. We wanted to beat their ass in practice. We wanted to beat their ass. Because we felt we was better than them when we was in the 9th and 10th grade because we came from where we didn't lose like that. So we wanted to whoop ass. That's how we used to get them back. Oh, we gonna kick their ass and pray.
Do you think that, hey, as someone who sees these kids all the time, Stanley, I see your comment, but I'm not incriminating myself on the air. Hey, man, do you think these kids have just got, back then, it wasn't a surprise if the kid we were fucking with turned around and started swinging. You know what I mean? It wasn't a surprise if in the moment he was fucked up, but after that he came back to get his. That was no surprise there. So, do you think these kids have maybe gotten a little bit softer in the sense of they're not standing up for themselves, and maybe that can fuel some of this hazing? I mean, you're always the bully's always gonna kick the little man. But we've seen plenty of little men stand up for themselves.
And I think to your point, Kel, what it is it's probably a little bit of they soft, but it's probably more of them wanting to be accepted by their peers, by the teammates, by the older players, even the players who hazing them and they may hate. They may still want to, or feel like in some type of way they can still earn that player's respect or earn being cool with that player if they go along with this hazing.
Mm-hmm.
But and I get that part of it, but at some point when it gets to stuff like this, it's got to be a line drawn, and the head coach is supposed to draw that line with a Sharpie that you can't erase. Once that stuff is brought to him, it's supposed to be nipped in the bud, But the main thing about it is it's not even supposed to get to this extreme
man.
doing, But like I said, it's definitely I want to be accepted. I want to be, you got some guys who coming in as walk-ons who want to earn a scholarship. Who, it just depends on different situations. But for me, I wouldn't care. If I feel like it's hazing going on, that's just over my screen, I'm out of there. Especially if I make the coach aware. You can give it a time where I'm not coming with this. I'm gonna let the coach know. If he doesn't let it go, then at that point you got something to think about. And I know it's a lot with the transfer portal and trying to go here and there. It's a lot, but it's not gonna be healthy for that individual who's getting hazed like that. And we see it all the time in this case where he's disgruntled, he's not there anymore. So he feels like, hey, I don't have to keep this a secret anymore. I'm finna, I'm gonna go out with it. And you never know a kid's situation or his background. So he may want to be a part of that team so bad that he accepts the haze. He may want to feel a part of something so bad that he just bites the bullet and deals with it, But it doesn't supposed to get this extreme,
Well, hey, before we move on, D, I just want to ask this one last question. Do you think we'll see criminal charges off of this?
Yeah. Because this is the day and age we're in now. Ever since we had the situation transpire with the gymnastic people, with the other programs getting into trouble with Sandusky, they're not playing no games with this. And just like now, Bo Parker talking about they shaved their heads back in the day. That's what, late 80s when he went to Miles College. That's minor.
That's easy. Your hair grows back. But at
that time, that was a form of hazing. I remember when Matthew Stafford them signed with Georgia, the incoming freshman, they had to shave their heads off. Coming to the University of Georgia, that was just something that they had to do, and that's what they agreed upon, or whatever they did then. Every team has something going on. Don't get it twisted. I don't care if you're the number one recruiter in the world. You got something going on, and don't get it twisted. Some of these guys that's coming in, there are recruits. They don't go to them schools when you. That's why they see what somebody done told. Hey man, that's what we got going on. If you can't tough this out, because they're gonna try to break you. That's what the agency is about. Trying to break you, trying to see if you who you say you are, and so forth. And they always find the weakest link. Man, they really didn't have to go through too much of that. Because we was, you know what I'm saying? You fought one of us, it was all us coming. You know what I'm saying? We really didn't have too much of that like that, if I can remember. But that's what it seems like to me. This has got notoriety because his coach has gotten fired. So being that he's gotten fired, Kev, there's a possibility that guy might want to file charges. That is sexual assault. If the young ladies can go back and get people for this stuff, why he can't? And like you said, with the level of mental illness, what if that kid would have came back and, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I want to just read one little tidbit from the guy who's coming forth with all the allegations. Okay, so he said that I was so thrilled to be playing the game that I love, the excitement of playing for the Big Ten and for a prestigious university. But my dream quickly turned sour as one of the Latinos on the football team, as one of the only Latinos on the football team at the time. He became a target of abuse by players and coaches.
So the coaches were in on this too.
They shaved Cinco de Mayo in the back of my head, and then there was a specific occurrence. My coach said, "Hey, I know you grew up on dirt floors, but you need to clean up around here."
Oh, that's a little bad, bud.
Yeah. So it's definitely past hazing at this point. You're insulting me. You're using my upbringing, and you don't know how this man grew up. But then again, he may do, because if he was recruited, the coach went and visited his family. He saw his house. So it's crazy. So he said the abuse was carried out in public, usually within the position group. It's always under the guise of joking or team bonding. I never felt like it was okay to be Latino when I was with the team, he said. But his claims were the tip of the iceberg, similar to the allegations of the Daily Northwestern. He claims that there was a ritual called a car wash, in which players would stand naked at the entrance to the showers, forcing others to go through them. A car was is having your genitals rubbing up on someone else's genitals. And I never felt like anybody could leave the shower when that was happening. Nobody told us we were forced to sit there, but we were also not allowed to go through the car wash.
See,
so they just had to sit there and watch these dudes rub their dicks together?
Hey,
I'm asking a question. I'm getting a better understanding, because he said that sometimes they were made to sit there and not allowed to go through the car wash. So they just had to sit there and watch.
Watch this activity. That's why I say again, well, hey, now like you said, coaches was involved. This again, a coach is coming way down into the state of Georgia, sitting in your living room telling you, I'm gonna take care of your baby boy. I'm gonna make sure he gets an education. I'm gonna make sure he this, that, whatever. He got grounds on the suit at university. That's why I'm saying criminal charges got to take place. Those coaches that was involved, that head coach knew, those coaches that's on his staff, and so forth and so on. So that's why I say it again. Some of those players that didn't make it, they are graduate assistants or strength coaches or something on their team because they want to go into the coaching field. That's why I say this ain't just start with him. They've been doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing it.
He's just the first one to say something.
He spoke up about it. Now watch, the dominoes gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
The dominoes gonna fall. The sad part about this, if that kid had any eligibility left or whatever, it would be hard for him to go to another university or another team and try to play sports. That's the part that messes up. He's doing the right thing by reporting it. But the blackball side of it is, oh, he can't be trusted. That's how their mindset with would think in the grand scheme, oh, we can't trust him because he gonna tell what we in here doing. Not thinking that this is mentally disturbing, but he can't be trusted. That is a sad situation again. And why this program ain't shit. It ain't been that way since '94.
Well, D, while talking about this, and we're talking about, you know, the people that are in these head positions that are essentially supposed to be the role models and the leaders, what about Larry Nassar? You remember him, the Olympic U.S. doctor who was arrested for sexually assaulting a lot of female athletes? Well, he was stabbed in prison multiple times and is lucky to be alive.
It was only a matter of time. Man. It was only a matter of time. He got some bad karma, and there's no telling who's in there. Cousin of a person he abused, a cousin of a friend of a person he abused. So, you know, with all of the people he abused, and I think it was like over 100. I think it was like over 200. He's finally getting some bad karma, man, and he
265. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And you kind of get what you deserve in these, and when stuff happens like this, you know, I wish no bad on anybody, but if you sit there and abuse these many kids, not older people or grown people, kids who don't have, you know, a stronger voice than you, who you can take advantage of easily, it's crazy to me. So, you know, I don't wish nothing bad on nobody, but he definitely kind of getting what he deserved on that.
Well, you know how it is, especially anything to do with children. Once they hit Gym Pop, it's over for them.
Gonna get you.
And when you up the road, when you yeah, once you hit GP, it's over.
And he's in a federal prison. He's not in the state. He's in the federal custody. And the thing is, I have a saying that the Reaper gonna come see you. It don't pay an eye call, but the Reaper's gonna come see you. I mean, he always got a checkout date. In between those 2 dates, stuff goes on with you. You see what I'm saying? You ain't always got to worry about. You got people in jail to handle some of that business. Like I said, one thing I can say about that: you don't mess with women. You don't mess with children and old people when it comes to the penitentiary system.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's because they're gonna get your rap sheet. You know what I'm saying? First of all, they're gonna look at them, what you doing in here. You know what I'm saying? And when somebody did some research and find out who he was, because like you said, they put him in Gen Pop. There ain't no more. I'm staying over here. I ain't just that up, sir. You finna serve this time. We ain't got no. You didn't think about that when you were doing what you doing. That's why you say, well, what we're talking about with this other story. Look how you say 200 some plus little girls and whatever it was. And some of them they're grown women now. That stuff is affecting them probably in their everyday life. That they see this individual walking around. He took advantage of his stature of what he was doing and used it to the T. So, hey, man, listen, I don't wish no harm on anybody or nothing like that, but the Reaper gonna come see you. It is what it is. Just know how you gonna accept it when it comes.
Castrate that motherfucker.
And he's in there for, I think he got sentenced to like 60
he got 40 life sentences.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it's bound to happen again, you know, and he may not make it through the next time. It's bound to happen 2 more times. Who knows? But you know, you kind of made
it was just 40.
Yeah, it was just for So you kind of made your bed to lay in, man, and it's unfortunate, but they're gonna be coming for you in there, especially knowing, like Derek said, the charges. We got to see about you, guy. So
yeah, they're gonna get when they get the paperwork and all that on you. It's gonna okay. What are you in for? Because they're looking at you when you come in, and if anybody doesn't know, they put you in certain colors. I know on TV y'all just see the orange jumpsuit. It's not like that. The orange jumpsuit is just regular petty crimes. The joke they have red, blue, whatever. Them red ones, the murder.
Fuck with them.
Them are murder. They end up for murder. Ain't nothing else you ain't discuss. That red one is murder. But them other, they got them other ones for those child molesters and
Mhm.
people of that nature. They wear different color too. So I ain't know none of that. They don't know. Cause they, what you doing over here then? So, don't let TV fool you. That's what go on in there. So, hey man, listen.
Well, hey,
Sad
I do
situation.
want to say this though, D. Some of them cats sitting up there in the penitentiaries got it nice. I grew up with a cat. He ended up killing somebody, and he's doing like 40 something years. And he got his phone in there. He be on Snapchat. He be smoking weed. They be eating good. He's got like a 50-inch flat screen and an Xbox One in his cell. I'm some of them cats, man, they live in luxury in there.
Is it federal prison that he's in?
I think he's just in
See,
state.
because they see it depends now, but like I said, me personally, me personally, my 48 hours is in there. I don't want no part of it. I like my freedom. I don't like being around a bunch of men and they take bathing like that. And I can't do it. I'm
You
just
gotta
telling
sit there and
you.
shit in front of
So
them.
listen, I don't want no parts of that. I can't understand it. Like I said, all of my had to run in with the law. I just spent the night in there for 48 hours. Let me tell you though. Joe was talking about give me 30 days. No, sir, I want out. I don't want nobody to talk. I know I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want no
That's real.
parts of it. I don't know how many people that, knock on wood. I know people have probably been in a situation. When that damn door slide, that's it. You in there.
Mhm.
You don't know what these people got on their mind. You don't know what's going on, and you got to damn near sleep with one eye open every day. I ain't got
That's
time for
real.
that.
That's real.
I ain't
It
got
put
time for that.
it put a big perspective for me, seeing that I think I'm a bad motherfucker, but I came in there and saw some cats that just don't care. That's the biggest difference is they just don't care. They sitting there like, yeah, I got locked up for robbing a dude, but don't worry, when I get out, I'm gonna go get him back for calling the cops on me. And I'll be right back in here. I don't care. I'll figure it out in a couple years when the shit's over. I got to get mine. They just don't care. Well, hey, real quick, fellas, before we move on, we're gonna take a minute to hear from KJ's Mobile Auto Detail.
This episode of Last Take is brought to you by KJ's Mobile Auto Detailing LLC. Hit up KJ anytime. He has same-day appointments available, y'all. Y'all got to hit him up. Same-day rain guarantee. Memberships available. Disinfectant, sanitization services, wash, wax, carpet shampoo, claying, steam cleaning as well. Hit him up at 470-214-1423.
There we go. Hit them up for all your auto detailing needs. Well, as we know, the NBA regular league is over, and now we are into the summer league. Hey, nothing too crazy, but the number one pick made his debut the other night, and from game one was a little rocky, but he came back in game two and didn't do too bad, even though they did lose that game 80-85. Victor, how do you say his last name?
Wembanyama.
Winnebea.
Wembanyama.
So, but,
You know,
You
I'm sitting there
tried,
trying to
yeah.
pronounce shit. Let me just phone a friend before I fuck it up. Anyway, he had 27 total points, 9 for 14 on his field goals, and 7 of 12 for his free throws. As I said, in his first game, he did get shut down. So, D, what do we expect coming out?
this guy got a lot of hype around him. We haven't heard as much hype for a first round pick like this since LeBron James, to be honest with you. It's been other number ones after him, but they got a lot of hype around this guy being how tall he is and how skilled he's supposed to be. That's my first time getting a look at him, and he played against the other guy, the number 2 pick in the draft out of Alabama. So we got to see. They usually set this up like this anyway every summer league. Guy got a skill set, but I think he just got to put some weight on it. Because he's been playing international ball. So in San Antonio, how they do things, basically how they've been doing their teams. And David Robinson, they get him a big man, and they build from the inside out and put players around him. So we'll see. I see him put the ball on the floor. I see him take some threes. I see him go to the rack. And listen, he's not jumping, but that fall off the ground because of how tall he is. He dunked the ball. It's like he didn't even jump to do it. So the kid looked pretty all right, man. It's summer league. You know what I'm saying? They need to go to get him on some kind of weight gain immediately because he's going to get himself in some trouble. When the big boys blow him in the chest so he take a hard foul.
Can they do TRT? Is that banned? But since they've replaced it as replacement therapy, I didn't know if it would like sneak past the guidelines. Since it's no longer just testosterone steroids, it's testosterone replacement therapy.
Allegedly.
You can go to goddamn Walgreens and get the shit.
You can get
So
allegedly.
I don't know nothing about that.
Probably different levels.
But I'm saying you'll see, like this year, he'll probably be at that. You'll see next season if he starts gaining that weight. Because everybody don't know now. I ain't saying it is. LeBron was a bean pole when he came in too.
Mm-hmm.
His jersey was falling off him too when he first came in. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, he became some monster. So you just gotta pay attention to what they doing and so forth and so on, and go from there.
Well, with all that money they got, they can hire, and especially with the teams, I'm sure they've got great nutritional staff that'll fucking get them to bulk up.
Yeah, I think I do think he does need to bulk up. I do think that you can assess the overall talent of him in summer league, but it's still a little bit. You find out a little bit more when the season starts and he's playing with other ones, other starters, other players that's been playing in the league versus summer league guys, rookies, guys who are trying to make the team. So it's definitely different. I see that they also extended Greg Popovich's contract, so he will be locked in. Him and that kid gonna be tied to the hip, basically. And usually when Greg Popovich gets a number one pick or a top pick, he makes good with them. I think Popovich is probably one of the top 5 best coaches, maybe ever. And I do trust that he will have a good process for this kid. It's very important when you draft a young player, it's very important that you have a good staff in place, and Popovich is a veteran coach, probably been coaching over 20 years, has been coaching over 20 years. And I know that he will rub off on this guy the right way. They may not always agree, and Popovich will be one of those coaches who lets you know that we're not in agreement on certain things. And I do think that will be good for the kid as well. I did see the first game, like you said, was a little rocky, and he probably was nervous, even though it was summer league. It's coming into the NBA. You had, for that first game, you had people on the front seats like 2-3 hours early just to see him. The place filled up maybe 2 hours early. Now, this for a summer league game. Prices for the tickets went up. So, he probably, with all the pomp and circumstance that was going on, he probably felt that a little bit, came out a little shaky the first game. But by the game, able to relax and play basketball, which was good. And I'm definitely looking forward to see how he progresses. And like I said, I know Coach Pop will definitely help that kid be a better player and a better pro.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
There we go. Well, hey, man. Abe, heard you had a pretty exciting weekend with the team, man. Heard y'all went out of state to my home state, went out there and kicked a little butt and brought back the dubs, man. Tell us what's up. What happened?
Well, first off, we had actually we scrimmaged another team from South Carolina on Saturday at Wade Walker. It was just like a control scrimmage. We didn't have any refs, anything like that. 15 players on offense. Excuse me. Then give them 15 plays on offense. So it was able to, with those scrimmages like that, it's easier to evaluate. You know, you can kind of stand out there just watching what's going on, have a little more up close and personal view of it. And Sunday we went to Sumter, South Carolina. We left like 8:00 yesterday morning. Got up there. We probably left like close to 9. It was about a 3.5-hour drive, something like that. We got up there to see that it was a South Carolina kind of all-star team that they had put together. Kids were huge, like 6'1", 6'2", linemen. Some of it was
11U?
Yes. However, some of it was a little in question because, you know, you can tell by how a 13-year-old kid runs versus an 11-year-old kid. I've been
This
teaching
dude
for a
got more
long
facial
time,
hair than me.
so I can see how they may have had some older kids. However, we do in some cases welcome that because it gets our boys tougher, it gets them better, going against some stiffer competition, whereas maybe 7 out of the 10 11Us that we'll see is not, you know. So a lot in ways it did help our kids go up against some bigger, I wouldn't say more physical competition, but they were bigger, you know. And sometimes size, you could just pass the eye test with that. Kids gonna be like, man, he big. Man, am I gonna be able to, you know? So it's always that little second guessing in a kid's mind. I don't care how much of a dog they is. If they see a kid towering over them like that, it may not put fear in their heart, but it'll just definitely make them think about some stuff. But we got up there. We didn't check no books. We saw how big they were, and we ended up beating them 50-12. They did break a couple of long runs, and that's how you were kind of able to tell, like, is he 11? You know, but like I said, man, just for the bonding aspect, the get better aspect, because we can never get consistent scrimmage work here in the city from teams at other parts. So like yesterday we had to do a little traveling, you know, and it worked out good, man. No kid came back hurt. We took 22 players up there. We were missing like 10 or 11, and we still did the thing, man. And it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the kids who didn't. It kind of helped those kids get better as well, especially some of the first year kids with Lambo. So, like I said, man, we played, we won. We after the game, everybody went 7 and 8. Shoney's is the only thing y'all got up there, Kev.
Shoney's and Fuddruckers, dog.
Yes, sir. So we went and ate at Shoney's, man. Did some more little team bonding, and you know, we probably got back about 9:00 last night, which was still good, you know. The kids aren't in school yet, so it didn't put a strain on any kid or parent or any of the coaches. So I enjoyed it, man.
Well, just to tell you what the nicest restaurant in my hometown is, it's Red Lobster. So
Red Lobster, cheddar biscuits.
That don't show you. That don't show you what's going on.
So,
What you got?
So, because I called when I seen Coach Howard had posted the score, and I'm like, hey, what the hell y'all was at? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on vacation, and as we tap into this, because I'm excited from coming out there, seeing the coaching and interacting, you know, me and Abe and some of the other coaches, and it got my juices flowing when I coached and did this, because I still know the game. I can sit there and evaluate and see. And like Abe said, kid, when you see it for yourself, it's a kid out there, they got running the ball, kid that's taller than me and you, and he's 11 years old. And I'm like, he's 11. He's what? And So with Abe saying that they went up there and they could tell there was an all-star team and to put a 50 burger up on them, that's amazing. From the, and like Abe said, we came out to practice. That wasn't even all they full staff, a team when I came out there and seen them. So I'm just waiting and imagine Coach Howard and them, they got a program, Kev that they are running, and they have actually as a whole park. So now that me and Skip was able to see it visually, there I can understand why Lambo and them get all this flat hate and whatever they got going on, what they're putting out there. I can see it now. It's the bravado, the swagger. It's one thing when you know you good. It's next thing when you know you good and you know you kicking ass and you good. Everybody can't handle that. You know what I'm saying? That everybody can't handle that. And then, like you said, you crossing over state lines and you're doing this. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't that scoreboard don't lie. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you can do, all that yapping, that scoreboard don't lie. And like you said, I personally would have been a little like, okay, so y'all just gonna come out here with 13-year-olds against my 11-year-old. Then what you think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? So not only are you putting these kids at risk of getting hurt, possibly, you're putting that kid in risk of getting hurt also. But we're going to get this work. We're going to see what it is. It's just like we going in the neighborhood playing pickup football in the neighborhood. That's how it used to be when we were little kids. So it is what it is. But Kev Aiden got some big old balls out there. Them yo. They still kids. You know they kids when they start opening their mouth and so forth and so on. When they start talking to you. And don't get it twisted, Kev. They will recognize you when you come out. They gonna know who you are. Some of them gonna speak to you as far as the parents and mothers. And I'm serious. I'm not lying to you. They walked up to me and Skip. Hey, so you know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. But I can't wait till this weekend to experience the whole process. Kev, please bring your cooler for yourself and other people
Bring
that
what?
might want your cooler. Because it's going to be people that want to indulge in some of your festivities that you have in your cooler. Not me personally.
That is 2 shelves full of liquor, my friend.
I'm just telling you. So we got to keep you. You're gonna be the vanilla in the coffee out there. So you just make
It's
You
been
won't
that
be
way
the
for
only.
years,
You
dog.
won't be the only vanilla in the coffee.
I was in an all-black car club for damn 7 years.
I must say I can't wait for us to start showcasing this stuff for everybody. Because it was just the practice was an experience, Kev. It was like a cookout and a party at the practice. And I was like, damn, this on a Wednesday. What? How is the game? It's on Wednesday. I'm out there, and I left Abe out there, and said it was 9 o'clock then, and I'm like, shit, I gotta go home.
So should I just bring like a whole bar setup? I mean, a little
They're gonna
shaker,
have
some ice.
I think just bring whatever you're gonna bring, just put it in your cooler. You should be good. I
Just
think
don't be waving it around, fucking keep it
nah.
straight. Yeah.
They're gonna have a lot of food vendors and stuff out there. It'll be definitely a good situation. And we got I think 12 to 14 teams at our age groups that are there. And actually, Hilton, one of the guests who's on our show, a good friend of mine, he will actually be playing a showcase game on Friday night out there at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, one of the two. He'll be playing a team from Florida, the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. And
you gonna be there?
I'll be there. Yeah.
All right, so I'll
You
meet
won't
you
be Friday, but I'll be there. Yeah. And all Saturday we play at 10 Saturday morning, and then again at 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. So it'll be good work out there. It'll be a lot of people out there. It'll definitely be festive, and I'm definitely looking forward to having y'all, everybody from the show. Hopefully Skip can get back. I think he may still be gone. But I'm definitely looking forward to letting y'all see the process on us preparing for a game, and how we perform during the game.
So
it's going.
yes, now that we're actually getting more into your season where y'all are having the games and whatnot, how do you flip that switch for the kids from like, all right, we just doing these little bullshit. Not, I don't want to say bullshit, but these little bullshit practices to kind of get you ready, see where everybody is, get your feet wet. Now it's the real deal. Now we're about to go hit some motherfuckers in the mouth. So how are you changing that mindset? D, are you not liking my language tonight?
No.
I think them kids, especially the ones, and we have most of them are returning players from 2, 3, some 4 or 5 years. The kids got it locked in already, man. The ones who are just coming maybe last year, this year, it takes some time for them to see how the kids who have been here lock in mentally when they know we about to play these big games, and I'm sure everyone has seen this in some form of fashion in Little League football. When a good team comes up against a team that's not so good, the mindset of the kids, they see that and like, man, they sorry. So I'm gonna scale it back a little bit. But what Coach Howard, myself, Coach Bell, Coach Presley, Coach V, all of us I feel like we do a great job of is letting it not matter to them who we playing. It doesn't matter. Take that same mindset out there, regardless on if they Lulu, which is a term we have in youth football, meaning sorry, whether they Lulu or whether they good, because you don't want to underestimate somebody. You can get yourself hurt like that. You can get yourself beat like that. So it's definitely a thing that Coach Howard, myself, and all the other coaches preach at. It don't matter who we lining up against. Scrimmage, if we going against somebody in practice or whoever it may be, you got to lock in, because like I said, you can get yourself hurt, you can get the other kid hurt. It's a lot of factors that play in with coming into it like, oh, they sorry, I'm just going, and with us, if we see that our players see that they sorry and they not giving they all, you got to come out. We got to talk to you. You got to still keep that same intensity, regardless on if it's little Johnny or big Johnny, whoever it is. So that's probably the part where you have to really just keep reiterating it. Like, hey, it doesn't matter who it is. You still have to lock in for them 4 quarters, 2 halves, or however long the game gonna be.
And Kev, like I say, you will experience yourself when you see it, Kev. It's like, and it was just practice. The intensity. Aiden got a female coach on their staff. She knows what she's talking about. I've heard her giving instruction. And I was able to get my feedback to Coach Howard, what I seen, and even me and Abe talked. It was like, hey, they're not going to see everything because they have multiple coaches, but we pinpoint certain kids, and like you will when you see them, Kev, you're gonna be like, the guy, I don't know what his number is in the game, but number 32 who stood out to me that was running the football, Kev. When you see this kid, they got him playing running back and he's playing defensive end. And this was just practice against Abe. I want to see him play against other competition, because if I'm a kid at 11 years old and I'm 4'6" or whatever, however tall I am, you're not going to want to put your hands on him. And I'm telling you, okay, me and you stood next to each other, we can just say like me and you about the same in height and stature, so we put on some pants and you can clash, and somebody I knock you over, you might knock me over, whatever the case may be. This kid is taller than me and you, Kev. And I'm talking about he's like a baby. And I seen him playing defensively and a guard, one of Abe's guard pulled around, and he caved his ass back into the center and disrupted everything they were trying to run. So I'm just trying to imagine what's going to happen. And back then we played, like Abe said, and, they try to keep us at the same size. This don't even matter. And what you say, Abe, he had 3 carries, 150?
Yes. He had it yesterday, 3 carries, 150.
You see that?
God, dog.
and they have and I get it now. From just the practice and what they was talking about, they call the dogs off. I know he's doing it, because that's how they get to play this longevity. Y'all now it makes sense. We say y'all playing 20, 25 games, because if you get up by this scope, everybody on the team gonna get some team.
Everybody gonna get you. Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing I do got to address too, Kev, that I did see, and I like this from Coach Howard, and I know it's a culture that Coach Howard got going on. I watched one of the kids. I don't know his name, Abe. I can't remember, but he might be one of y'all star players tonight. Coach took him off the field because I guess he was saying he was still hurt or injured or something was going on with him. And Coach Howard said, "Go over there with your mom." You know what I'm saying? Because what ain't gonna happen, and Kev, you probably experienced it when you get AD. You will have a kid or a teammate that'll mess around in practice, don't want to practice, but come game time, he's
ready to play.
ready to go.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that I've seen that out of Coach Howard. That lets me know it's no nonsense when it comes to that. You're not gonna come out here and don't want to practice, and then game time. I gotta play you because you one of my dogs, and you must say. And you know, so I did see that. And it was very interesting for me to see that. And the mothers that was out there for people that's tuning in. It was none of them getting involved in the coaching process of how them run their team. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't deal with the language, this ain't the team for you. That's all I can say.
There you go, man. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to come out there this weekend and see what's going on. For everybody tuned in, I believe we are going to do another live broadcast from the field. Is that what we discussed?
Yes.
So yeah, we'll probably put out a little teaser on Saturday or Friday to let y'all know. But yeah, we're gonna be down there, and y'all are gonna be seeing a lot of Lambeau. We are really putting an emphasis on these kids, on this team. We want to help, spread youth sports and keep the positivity because things are a little wild right now. But anyways, man, D, holy shit, where the fuck did you go? D, man, is there anything else you want to talk about tonight, or else we are gonna wrap up a little early?
Kev, I will not be here next Monday. Kev, I'm going to WWE wrestling. So
have you ever been to a live event? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I have. It's not what you think. I
was gonna say, if you've never been, it's way better on TV.
Yes,
the
it
acting
is.
and everything is way better on TV.
Yeah. So I'm trying to let the kids have they thing that they want to see it and they understand what's gonna happen, and I just want them to know. I'm like, hey, listen. I remember watching was it Nitro then, and we went for the first time I ever went, and I seen Jeff Jarrett swing the steel briefcase, and he swung the dude into the ring. He came back and he swung it. The dude slid up under the briefcase when he swung across his head. Like he did not even hit it with it, but they was stomping the mat like he hit him. I said, he hit him with that damn briefcase.
They just shake their body and hit the foot.
Yeah, but on TV, you'll be sure he knocked his damn ass out.
Yeah.
And I'm warning the kids now. I'm like, listen, what you see, take it for what it's worth. But it's gonna be people in the stands that think that shit is real.
Oh yeah.
So be very careful what you experience. But other than that, man, I'm very excited for this weekend. To be we're gonna be at Wade Walker, right? Hey, or what we gonna be?
No, it'll be at Honeysuckle Park. I will send the info to you there.
Okay, that's what we need to know. What we gonna be at, guys. We are, like I said, like Kev said, this is gonna be a whole nother experience here on Fifth Court Sports, and we're gonna start off with this as we trickle into high school football also. Because some of these kids, we got to get to the point where these kids is playing on 18 and several others that we gonna come and encounter with Route King team and others that we want to follow these kids up into high school and see them do major things outside of football also. You know what I'm saying? Like we got producers, they want to learn about the cheer culture also, because a lot of people don't realize that cheer culture is competitive as long as with this football, basketball, baseball also. So this is what my dream was with this. A came along, Kev is right there. Skip also. We have a voice that we're trying to put out here to make it be seen as all walks of life. Kev has other experiences because he's a little younger, but this right here get his competitive juices going also. because Kev will see it and be like, wow, I remember I used to do that about 5-10 years ago. Because I'm trying to keep Kev off football.
Hey. You
I'm
said
trying
what?
to keep Kev. I'm trying to keep Kev off the football field, y'all. He trying
Man,
to
I
get
told you the Cherokee Bruins want me to come out, dog.
I'm trying.
I want to do it so bad, but I don't want to get hurt. I ain't got time to be
So
missing work.
that's the thing. So yes, and like I said, we got a lot of things to showcase that we got going on, and I'm very thrilled about the direction of what we're trying to do. Nobody's doing this, and in my mindset, like this.
And also, man, if y'all got somebody you want us to highlight, if your son or your auntie's nephew, whoever it is, if they're in this U Sports platform, don't bring me no bum. All right, don't bring us no bench riding cat. But if we got somebody with some hype behind them, or a coach that's just doing some great work with these kids, man, invite them to the show. We'd love to have them. As long as they ain't got no losing record. You've been with the program 3 years and you won 6 games. We don't want to.
But that's not. I'm not gonna let you do that, sir. They're still making an impact on the youth. That's what I care about. You need to cut your mess.
I'm having fun tonight. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Skip ain't here, but
I get it, like your dad Prescott. Never mind, I'm not going there.
Oh hell, see that
I'm
bullshit.
I'm not going there.
Dakota.
But that's what we want to highlight, man. And I hope that we get as much as we can do with this. And I'm excited. And I'm be honest with you, Kel, Coach Howard walked up to me and he specifically said it out of his mouth. I want you at this weekend, and I want us to be out there for Labor Day. He said, I need y'all in both of these things because they seen. And what you fail to realize, a lot of people we think not watching are actually watching. You understand, Kel? People walked up to me, hey, you the guy from the podcast. And that dude, like we said, Abe seen it. Dude walked up to Skip and confronted Skip about what we said on the show. And it was nothing, that
it wasn't crazy, but
no, but it was just wild that he knew exactly who we were. You know what I'm saying? So it was very interesting. And they will know who you are, Kev. Somebody will speak to you. Oh, you Kev. I know you. And you were like, okay, hey, how you doing? So that's pretty funny.
Just a fair warning. I do have a bad case of RBF whenever I'm out and about, resting bitch face. I try to make people not want to talk to me, but somehow they always end up gravitating towards me. So
Put your blockers on. Put your blockers on.
I'm approachable. I'll have my shades on anyways, but I'm approachable. Hey man, D, give me your last take, dog. Give me your last take.
A very interesting week so far. What we're dealing with, we didn't get to touch on it. This money that got spent in the NBA 2 weeks ago, and this player movement around. I want everybody to understand. It's amazing how the sport and coaches that we played and so forth get pennies on the dollar when it comes to these baseball and basketball players. You pay attention to it. Some of these guys got contracts that was like, no. How did you get that? But hey, that's the world we live in. I want everybody to keep it positive at all times. And like I said again, I'm doing this for these kids now, man. And I'm trying to just bring a positive influence and showcase them and make them know that somebody cares about them in all forms and fashions and whatever. So, hey, we got good things coming up. Thank y'all.
Yeah, man. My last take is, man, Lambeau tournament coming up. There will be 11 U games and 7 U games. We have a few 7 U teams there as well. But Friday there will be 2 11 U games, and Saturday there will be 11 U games. Starts at 9 a.m. and the last game isn't played until 7:30 p.m. So it's gonna be an all-day event, man. I hope everybody can come out. Lambeau playing at 10 a.m. and at 1 p.m. But above that, I know people gonna come out and support their teams. And what I'm definitely looking forward to is hopefully playing against my longtime friend and coaching mentor, Hilton Route King Alexander, and his ABA Bulldog team. They will be playing Friday night, and I think we on different sides of the bracket. So hopefully Sunday, we'll have a championship game, us against them. And I know that'll bring the city out. A lot of people will want to see that early matchup. There's been a couple of other early matchups in youth football with all the preseason, and people been showing up, showing out. So I hope everybody come out, bring some good energy with you. We're going to be at Honeysuckle Park. I think it's like in Dorville.
Yeah. It pops up. I got it pulled up right here on GPS. It says Dorville, but it's still showing DeKalb County.
Right. Yes, it's kind of on that line. So, like I said, man, bring some good energy. There's gonna be a lot of vendors out there with food. We're probably not gonna block you bringing your coolers in there, but I just ask you to bring good energy, leave the violence and negativity at the house. It's gonna be a lot of kids out there. So we as adults have to, act the part. Set examples for these kids. And that's what I plan on doing this weekend. And I'm just looking forward to some good weather for one and some good football for two.
Hey, is it a charge?
Not for y'all. Y'all gonna be all right. I'll make sure y'all.
No, I'm just saying, just put that out there if anybody want to come.
Yes, I think it will be $15 to $20 a day. But don't quote me on that. But somewhere around in there, it will be. And I know people saying, $20 is steep. But like I said, if you come there Saturday morning at 10, you're gonna pay $20 to see maybe 10 games. And that adds up. So, I'm definitely looking forward to everybody coming out, man. And like I said, bring some good energy with y'all.
It's for the children.
It is for the children.
It's for the children. If you out there supporting and doing what you're doing, $20 is nothing.
Hey man, since I was told to make sure I bring some festivities, some liquid festivities. If you find me out there, use code name Earth, Wind, and Kev, and I'll give you a free shot.
We gonna use it now.
Oh shit! Oh boy,
oh
man.
my goodness! Oh my goodness gracious!
Earth, Wind, and
Okay,
Kev.
check this out. So I'm telling you now, we ride with them, so we might have to put on blue.
Hey,
I
look good in anything.
So we might be, we'll be halfway on the other end of the sideline or something. I don't know. Abe get us set up correctly. I will be on time.
Now, Abe, I do have to say before we
hey, send that. Appreciate it again. We're gonna be in Dorville for Ryan. We're gonna say that again. Abe, right quick.
Yeah, we'll be at Honeysuckle Park in Dorville. This is the Lambeau Youth Football Tournament. It'll be the 11U age group and the 7U age group. We're starting at 6:30 on Friday night. There'll be a couple of games that day, and Saturday morning we start at 9 a.m. and we're gonna go all the way to 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So it'll be great if you can come out and support Mr. Woodson. I appreciate it. Bring some good energy with you and get ready to watch some good football.
Well said, my friend. Well, hey, real quick, before I sign us off, we'll hear from Too Fresh Transportation.
Are you and your friends or family looking to have a good time? Come experience Too Fresh Transportation. They offer multiple luxurious vehicles to choose from that are super clean and COVID sanitized. With all vehicles having a wide range of seating space, a custom bar with a hookah, and an Apple and Google TV, a PlayStation 5, a removable dance pole, and a custom stereo. So remember, next time you book a ride, book Too Fresh, because Too Fresh is above the rest.
Why'd you stop dancing whenever the camera came back?
I was something playing in my head. I don't know. Something playing.
Hey, man. Everybody, we appreciate you tuning in. As always, we will be back next week. Keep a lookout because we are going to drop the tease to Saturday and or Sunday's broadcast. We have not figured out which day we're going to do that yet, but we will have it up here shortly. Thank you again for tuning in tonight. I am your host, Mr. Kevlar. Treat him swell. For Coach Abe, D for life, we are the Fifth Quarter Sports Podcast. Until we come back, keep your beer cold and your wings lemon pepper, baby. We out.